Hey Bulldogs, and welcome to our final tutorial for animation. This one is a keyframe animation, which means basically you're going to be drawing every frame. The beginning of your project should be 20 frames and the ending should be 20 frames. But everything has to be hand drawn. You cannot use the text tools, you cannot use the shape tools. This is all about showing me your skills in drawing. Please do not feel like you need to be an expert. As you can see, I am not. But let me show you my little intro here. I have everything kind of coming in on motion tweens, which is okay for the intro, and it's okay for the credits, not okay for the center. That's all hand drawn. But this is all hand drawn too, and the way I did it is I clicked on my pen tool and I'd type a letter. Let's just do something simple like the word wow. And then to turn that into an object that I can move around, I choose the cursor. I draw a big box around this, and then once I click make button over here on the right, it turns it into an object that I can move. Okay, so now if I wanted to move this wherever, I could. Okay, I'm going to undo that because I already have that. And then I want to show you one thing you need to make sure you do, which is click on the gear before you even start the project and make sure you choose 1080 as the shape and size. 1920 by 1080 is the resolution, and click apply. Okay, I got a little ahead of myself. Please do that first. Then once you finish your introduction, you're ready to start keyframing, okay? And I made mine called Welcome to the Jungle. But one thing you'll notice here, and I'm going to turn this layer off because I messed it up a little bit. One thing you'll notice here is that I made a background, and the background's very plain, a couple of palm trees, some squiggly marks. It's supposed to look like a jungle. Okay, but I just dragged that on and on and on and on all the way to the end of my project here. So this is the background, and it's going to last about 140 layers or so. And then when I'm done with it, I'm going to go ahead and just lock that layer because I know I'm not going to use that layer again. Okay. And then I'm ready to start animating. And all I did is I animated this little elephant that I redrew a few times, and he shoots up the word good. And then I got a couple of birds that come over here and fly in, keyframed, luck. And then I got a little snake that spells the words on. And then I got at the end a sun that sets, I guess it rises, that says star. And then I had some room to fill at the end, so I just threw in some the end, a kind of a squiggly the end. And then at the very end, I have this little bird that says whatever, animated by, and my name. Those are motion tweens. You know how to do that now. And then a little goodbye. But let's talk a little bit about motion tweening. If I come down here, or not motion tweening, but keyframing. If I come down here and I want to keyframe, I'm going to do just the simplest thing ever. First, you draw your background. Okay, let's say my background was just a little squiggly line. Okay, and then maybe I had a sun up here in the corner. And then maybe over here, I made a cloud. Okay, and another cloud. Okay, and then let's say I just locked that layer. Okay, because I'm going to keep that, and I dragged out however many frames I wanted. It doesn't matter, 100, 200. And then I go ahead and I lock that, so we can't change that. And then I come down here, and I create an animation that's an F, that is basically a repeating animation using the onion skin. I'm going to go ahead and turn on onion skinning, and all I'm going to do is draw a little bird. Let's just draw a bird off stage like this, the simplest of birds. And then I'm going to click the period button on your keyboard, which moves over one frame. And notice you see the ghosted image of where that bird is. Now I just draw it again. And I'm going to go over, and I'm going to go again. And I'm going to move over. I'm just pushing the period, which is arrow to the right. And again, and again, and again. Now, not the greatest of animations, but if I move my cursor back and forth, the playhead, as you can see, especially if we turn off onion skinning, you can see that we do have an animation there. Okay, little bird that flies across the screen. This is basically what you're doing. Okay, now you can make it as long as you want, or for this particular animation. But remember, the center, if we got 20 at the beginning and 20 at the end, the center should be 200 of animated frames. So you have to think up a little story. Maybe the bird flies across, and then he flies back, and then he picks up something and flies and drops it in the air. And then it's totally up to you, but just think of something. Notice that the background doesn't change. It's locked. All you're animating is something that you can draw. It could be an animal. It could be a face and the eyes are blinking. It's totally up to you. Just be creative. Okay, the idea here is to show me that you could be creative and come up with the kind of an animated idea. Okay, that's all there is to it. If you want to watch this entire animation, let's watch the whole thing, even though I added a little on here now. Here's kind of how it looks. There's my intro. Here's my 200 frames. Good luck. Snake spells on. Star comes up in the sunlight. I ran out of, I needed more frames, so I spilled the end. And then I spelled animated by, my name. And then I threw in this little bird saying bye. And then the little piece I just added. Okay. Super simple, easy to do. When you're done, you click export and you're going to choose export. You're going to choose export video and upload that video to your Google Classroom. It will download to the corner. That's all there is to it. If you have any other questions, please ask during class. Otherwise, get animating.